Yo guys, it's Safe Beer. Welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. Today, different setting, as you can tell. I do apologise for different setting, a different background. I am still in my room, as you can tell, but the Chelsea memorabilia is on the wall there. My PC and everything is not in my room. Literally, everything that's usually in my room is completely gone apart from my bed because of the reason I'm getting a new carpet. Well, all my house is getting new carpets in tomorrow, so we're having to like move things around ready for tomorrow. So yeah, setup should be back to normal by tomorrow. Everything will be in my room as normal by tomorrow, so videos should be back to normal. Just for today, it's going to be like this, so I do apologise, but we're back with some transfer news. Some very big news has come out today, so we're going to get into it. Before we do, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications to notify every time I load a video. Also, first link in the description of my stream channel, my second channel. Go and check those out, be very much appreciated. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. The lighting isn't particularly that great either. Anyway, let's get into it. Starting off with the first bit of news, I'm going to get through this really quickly because my old phone, which I've got in my hand right here, which luckily hasn't been sold yet, because if it got sold, well, not sold, but you know what I mean, traded into CEX, then I wouldn't be able to do this video for you right now. But luckily I am. It's on 4%, so we'll have to get through it quickly. First bit of news from Fabrizio Romano. This is what he had to say. Chelsea are still looking at some attacking options. Malick Fofana is one. Also in December and January, remember, Chelsea and United spoke about Garnacho and Nkunku. There are options for Chelsea, but also sales are going to be important, which I think Fabrizio's got a fair point. You know what I'm trying to say? I think he has a fair point. Even though we're one of the best teams in the Premier League right now in terms of FFP, how much money we can spend before we can sell, we're like massively in the positive compared to other teams. You know what I'm trying to say? But we've already spent quite over 100 million already in the window on João Pedro, Delap and Gittins. You know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, João Pedro and Gittins yet to be officially announced, but they are going to be announced soon. Obviously, João Pedro's finished his medical today. I don't know about Gittins. I think it's done, but we are going to have to make sales, and sales are going to be made, guaranteed. There's a lot of deadwood to be there. There's a lot of deadwood there that is able to be sold quite easily. I mean, Disasi being one of them, Felix being one of them, and Nkunku potentially being one of them, which Fabrizio Romano mentioned quickly, very briefly there. You know, Chelsea United discussed the swap deal between Nkunku and Garnacho. I think I could speak with the majority of the Chelsea fan base when we say we do not want that swap deal to happen. We'd rather keep Nkunku than get Garnacho. No to Garnacho. Garnacho, no. Garnacho, no. You know what I'm trying to say? Garnacho, no. That deal I do not want to happen. I don't think it will happen either. I think if anything, we are meant to be linked with Garnacho still. I get that. I don't think it's gonna happen, and I hope it doesn't happen. But I think Nkunku will get sold nevertheless. Do I agree with it? It depends if Nkunku's happy, you know, competing for his position. You know what I'm trying... No, not competing for his position, but having someone compete for his position, obviously being Palmer, without him throwing a strop like he did last season. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm starting to see a different version of him in the Club World Cup recently, so that's a bit more of a positive, but I still think he's going to get sold. Malick Fofana, though, this is the one thing we've got to talk about right now, because it's the big topic. Malick Fofana, obviously we spoke about on this channel before, he is a left winger, but he's a different type of left winger to Gittins, and that's why I am all for Malick Fofana in a sense, as long as we sell one of our other winger options, which we're going to get onto in a minute, as you can tell probably by the thumbnail. He's a different profile to Gittins, and that's why I like him, because Gittins is an explosive winger who will take shots at goal. You know what I'm trying to say? Whereas Malick Fofana is somebody who will have a shot. It's not going to have a shot. You know what I'm trying to say? But he's a player that's more of a creator, if anything. He likes to create chances, you know, for players and stuff like that. And, you know, it's good to have two different profiles in the same position, because against other teams, you can use that different profile, and that means they could get minutes in that game. And then, you know, you can use your other profile for different games. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Malick Fofana is a really, really good player at Lyon. Nottingham Forest did agree a deal with Lyon for Malick Fofana. Malick Fofana hasn't agreed personal terms with Nottingham Forest because apparently he's waiting for Champions League clubs, and apparently Chelsea are keen on the player. So we clearly have been speaking to him or about him or to Lyon at the moment, but I think we're just waiting for sales. And I think Malick Fofana is going to wait until, you know, other Champions League clubs come in for him. If we've been in contact, I think he is going to wait for us. So we'll have to see how that deal obviously progresses. It would be nice to get a player of his quality in the team. He's another young player, I get that, but he's fairly experienced. You know what I'm trying to say? You can get these young players that are like 20, 21, 22, but they've got a lot of experience on them already. You know what I'm trying to say? You can. I think Malick Fofana kind of falls into that category in a sense. A bit like Gittins in that way as well. I think Gittins is fairly experienced for his age. I would take Malick Fofana, like I basically already said. I don't think it's going to be an outrageous price as well, because obviously Lyon have been relegated to League 2, or League 2, yeah, League 2. So I don't think it's going to be anything above 40. I think you're looking at probably around 35 million. And I think that's a decent price for a player of his quality. So, and potential in that sense. So, that's the Malick Fofana news out of the way. As we move on to the second bit of news. And this also comes from Fabrizio Romano. So, he says, Chelsea are exploring centre-backs market. Now, this one gets my tail up. This one really gets my tail up, because I think we're in desperate need of, you know, some defensive stability in this team. Whether that's a centre-back, I'm not too sure. For me personally, I wouldn't mind if we didn't get a centre-back. Do I think we need one? Yes. But I wouldn't mind if we didn't get one. I'm more focused, if you're talking about the back line, I'm more focused on a left-back for cover for Cucurella, because Cucurella needs cover. He needs cover. He's not going to... We can't rely on him constantly for 38 games out of 38 in the Premier League. You know what I'm trying to say? He's going to get injured at some point. Plus international breaks on top of that. Plus this Club World Cup thing that's happening, which looks like we might be able to go all the way, because we've got Palmeiras next. If we beat Palmeiras, it's either Al Hilal or Flamese, and then it's the final. You know what I'm trying to say? So we've got a good path. So a lot of our players are going to be tired. We need cover for Cucurella. You know what I'm trying to say? I want that left-back cover. I want a left-back cover. For me, I'd be looking at Gerard Hato. But we'll have to see how that does. I've seen no left-back links at the moment for a long, long period of time. And that worries me, because we need left-back cover for Cucurella. And then the other back line, you know, profile I think we should be looking at is a goalkeeper. And obviously, if you're smart, which the sporting director's on, you'd go back in for Maynard and just put the 20 mil down, wouldn't you? Because we were 3 million off getting that deal done, and we just walked away over 3 mil. You know what I'm trying to say? Maynard's a top 3 goalkeeper in the world, top 5. You know what I'm trying to say? And he was happy to come to us. We agreed personal terms. You know what I mean? So if it was me, I'd also be looking at a goalkeeper, Maynard to be precise. But look, if we are looking at centre-backs, I don't mind a centre-back. I wouldn't mind a centre-back, but if we didn't get a centre-back, I wouldn't mind it either. I'm trying to think of centre-backs we've been linked to. Antonio Silva's a centre-back we've been linked to. Obviously, we played against him in the last game against Benfica, and he put in a good performance against us. So he's a player that I really wouldn't mind coming in. Again, young, but got a lot of experience already. You know what I'm trying to say, at his age. So kind of captain material as well. So, again, we'll have to see how that one develops. Centre-back market, what do you think? Are you guys prioritising a centre-back more than a goalkeeper or a left-back? Or what would you prefer in the order out of centre-back, goalkeeper and left-back? What would you know, what's your order and your preference? Anyway, this is a big bit of news. Here it is on the screen right here from Matt Law today. Madueke is attracting the most interest, but Chelsea are anticipating interest in Jackson and prepared to sell Nkunku. Well-known news. Well-known news that we're obviously looking to sell Nkunku, which, again, I really wouldn't mind. I've already spoke on it about Nkunku. We are prepared to sell him. Depends at what price, depends what teams are coming in for him, doesn't it? Jackson's a weird one. He's obviously a player that's coming up constantly now. You know what I'm trying to say? Arsenal apparently linked with him. There's other teams linked with him. Italian teams want him, but the price tag we put on his head is a little bit too high. I think it's, what, 60 million? 60 mil is a bit too high. I think 50, 45 plus add-ons maybe to 50, I think would be fair price for Jackson. I personally don't see, with the inclusion of João Pedro and Delap, I don't see Jackson being happy with the game time he's going to get, because I don't think Jackson's going to get as much game time as what he's had over the past 2 seasons. I really don't think so. And I think he's going to throw a strop. And we know what he's like when he throws a strop. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want that, personally. I don't want that behaviour at the club because it's just stupid. Gives out stupid red cards, puts the team in jeopardy, realistically done it. So with Jackson, again, don't mind it because we've brought in 2 players. João Pedro, who can play as an ST, but can do anywhere across the forward line, so versatility. And Delapia is obviously an actual ST. Madueke, though. Madueke, there's an uproar over Madueke. Again, do you see another team that's interested in Madueke is Arsenal. What price would I be happy to sell Madueke for? Around the 50 mil margin. We brought him for like, what, 30 million? I think 50 mil margin is big profit on the profit books. And not just that, I think it's a fair price in this current market for Madueke. I would be sad, personally, to see Madueke go. But to Arsenal, would I really be worried? No, because he won't get that much game time over Saka. And even then, I still don't think I don't think he'd stay there for more than 2 seasons because I don't think he'd be happy being Saka backup. You know what I'm trying to say? But I would be sad to see him go, though, because I think Madueke has been good. I spoke about it in my 5 players that need to step it up video. If you want to go and check that out, it's like 5 videos ago. Go and check it out. And I mentioned Madueke was our best wide player last season. He was. Neto was okay last season, decent first season for us, but I think he's going to be way better this season. With the inclusions of Estavo coming in and Neto and João Pedro being able to play out wide, Gittins, Malick Fofana potentially as well. Like, we've got so many players that can play out wide, players coming in. I don't think Madueke is going to get that much game time either. I think he's going to look for a move, whether it's Arsenal or not, I'm not too sure. But we better get a good price for him and not lowball ourselves into a corner. You know what I'm trying to say? Because Madueke, we could definitely get a fair, well, not even fair, like a good price for him, in my opinion. But we'll have to see how that develops. I think he will leave. I think he's the most likely one out of Nkunku and Jackson and Madueke to leave, I think, personally. I think it will be Madueke. I feel bad for him because the way he's treated within the fan base is kind of disgusting. Even though he had a good season last season as well. I think he's just treated very, very harshly within the fan base. I don't think it's fair. If it was me, I would probably keep Madueke, but then I would keep Madueke and give Estavo a loan. I still think he needs another loan, despite his already big quality. But you're moving into the Premier League; it's different. It's different. It's a different kettle of fish. You know what I'm trying to say? But look, it's looking likely Madueke will leave. Am I going to complain that much? No, but I would be sad to see the back of him. I can't lie. Again, we'll have to see how it develops. Last bit of news from The Athletic. Anyway, so Chelsea considering loaning out Tyreek George. There is interest from a lot of clubs and Chelsea want him to develop by getting regular game time. I spoke about this on Twitter recently, I think a couple of days ago with somebody, when they were mentioning about Tyreek George, you know, maybe it's unfair for him to be loaned out and stuff like that. And, you know, they'd be worried that he'd be sold. I think Tyreek George won't get sold. I think he has the quality to, in a couple years' time, come into Chelsea and compete out on the wide positions. You know what I'm trying to say? I really think he does because he has a lot of potential and he already is a good player. But I am in agreement in terms of I think he does need another loan. I think he needs a loan. With the inclusions we have out wide coming in on the left wing and the right wing, Tyreek George isn't going to get any minutes. He's just not. The way he's going to get better is if he gets regular game time, first team football game time. I think as a first loan, I think a very strong championship side that are pretty much going to be in and around the promotion stages for the Premier League, I think would be a good loan for Tyreek George, a first good loan. And then I think if he had a good, successful first loan, I think I'd give him a Premier League loan then. But I would definitely give him a championship loan. I'd be looking to give him a championship loan. The more game time he gets, the more better he's going to get. That's the only thing you got to think about. The more game time he's going to get, the more regular minutes he's going to get, the better he's going to develop. You know what I'm trying to say? So for me, I would definitely give Tyreek George a loan. And I wouldn't be against him having a loan at all. Being sold, though, is a different type of question. If he gets sold, that's a disgrace. You know what I'm trying to say? Even after a loan, it's a disgrace. But I don't think he will. I don't think the Chelsea owners will do that with somebody like Tyreek George, unless a stupid offer of like 70 million came in. And I think all of us would be in agreement by saying, yeah, okay, fair enough, accept the bag. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I don't think after a year at a good loan, even if he had an amazing loan, I think 70 million is an unturnable. You know what I'm trying to say? Even 50 in a sense. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, but that's unrealistic, obviously. That's why I'm saying it. So, anyway, that is it for today's video, guys. Let me in the comments down below what you all thought about the news today. You know, the Malick Fofana news, Madueke, potential players being sold, Tyreek George loan. Let me in the comments down below. I'll be very intrigued to know. I'm always reading the comments. Thank you all for the recent support on the videos. You know what I'm trying to say. Love you all. God bless you all. And, yeah, I'm pretty sure because I think the match preview will be out on Friday because we play on Saturday at 2 o'clock in the morning, by the way. I think I'll have a video out before then. So hit the bell notifications to notify you ready for it. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. And I'll be back to my new setup soon. So yeah, take care. Peace.